Welcome to World of Coins, the place where history meets treasure. Here, every coin tells a story, from the oldest United States classics that shaped our past to the newest rare discoveries that amaze collectors today. If you love the thrill of uncovering hidden value, exploring the beauty of design, and learning the secrets behind coins worth fortunes, then you're in the right place. Join us as we dive deep into the world of rare U.S. coins, both old and new, and reveal the fascinating details that make them priceless. Top 1. In 1971, the United States Mint struck millions of Lincoln 1-cent pennies, but among them, a few became legendary. These tiny copper coins, often tossed into pockets and jars, held secrets worth far more than a single cent. The 1971 Lincoln penny is one of those special treasures, an ordinary-looking coin that could change a collector's life with its hidden value. The year 1971 was a time of transition in America. Technology was growing, culture was shifting, and yet, through all the changes, the humble Lincoln penny continued its quiet presence in everyone's hands. It carried the face of Abraham Lincoln, the man who had come to symbolize honesty, freedom, and unity. Designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909, the Lincoln cent had already been in production for over 60 years by 1971. Its timeless design still carried a deep sense of respect for one of the nation's greatest leaders. On the obverse side, Lincoln's portrait stands proudly in profile, facing right. Above his head is the word "Liberty," and to his left, the national motto, "In God We Trust." Below, the date, 1971, anchors the design in history, but what most people don't realize is that not all 1971 pennies are created equal. Some were struck in Philadelphia, some in Denver, and others in San Francisco. Each mint left its small mark, a D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, or no mark for Philadelphia. The most valuable examples of the 1971 penny often come from rare minting varieties or perfect uncirculated condition. Some of the most famous are the 1971 double die obverse pennies, where parts of the text appear doubled because of a die alignment issue during minting. If you look closely at "Liberty" or "In God We Trust" on certain 1971 pennies, you might notice a faint doubling, almost like a ghostly second image. This is one of the signs that your penny could be a valuable one. Collectors around the world are fascinated by this variety because only a limited number of these double die pennies were ever released into circulation. The combination of rarity and history makes them incredibly desirable. In addition to these rare errors, the condition of a 1971 penny plays a major role in determining its value. Coins that were never spent, never scratched, and have retained their original mint luster are worth far more than those that show signs of wear. A penny graded MS mint state by professional grading services can command astonishing prices at auction, especially if it is a high grade like MS 67 or MS 68. Each flawless detail adds to the coin's beauty and value. Many collectors find it amazing that something so small can be worth thousands of dollars simply because it survived in perfect condition through decades of handling and time. The 1971 Lincoln penny is made mostly of copper, with a small amount of zinc. It weighs about 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. These might seem like small details, but for coin collectors, every number matters. Over the years, the 1971 penny has become a symbol of discovery for coin enthusiasts. People all over the world still search through their old jars of change hoping to find one of these rare treasures. It's fascinating to think that such a valuable coin could be hiding in plain sight, mixed with common pennies that most people overlook. Sometimes, valuable 1971 pennies are found in old coin rolls or collections passed down from family members who saved coins without realizing their worth. Each time one of these coins surfaces, it sparks excitement in the collecting community. The story of how it was found often becomes part of the coin's legacy. One thing collectors love about the 1971 penny is how it bridges the past and present. It connects the early design of the Lincoln cent with the modern era of coin production. The San Francisco Mint in particular produced beautiful proof versions of the 1971 penny. These coins were specially struck for collectors, using polished dies that created a mirror-like finish. Proof coins were never meant for circulation, which is why many of them still look as perfect as the day they were minted. Their shine and clarity make them favorites among those who appreciate craftsmanship and attention to detail. For era collectors, the 1971 double die penny remains one of the most thrilling finds. It combines rarity, historical context, and visible uniqueness, all in a coin that most people would never think to check. Each year, collectors examine their change carefully, hoping to spot that slight doubling or perfect mint state glow that could make their penny a prized possession. The beauty of coin collecting lies in these moments, the excitement of discovery and the realization that something so small can tell such a big story. The 1971 penny reminds us that history isn't always locked in museums. Sometimes, it's right in our own pockets, waiting to be noticed. From the careful design by Victor David Brenner to the rare minting errors that make some examples special, every 1971 Lincoln penny carries a piece of American heritage. So, the next time you come across a 1971 penny, take a moment to look at it closely. You might be holding a coin that's far more valuable than it seems. Collectors and enthusiasts continue to search for these hidden gems, and each discovery adds another chapter to the incredible story of the Lincoln cent. One exceptional example of the 1971 United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny, preserved in mint condition and featuring a rare double-die obverse, was recently valued at $145,000. That if you have a 1971 penny or any other old coin, share it in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story and help you uncover the value of your coins. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video to join our journey through the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden treasures. Top 2. In 1981, the United States Mint produced millions of Lincoln 1-cent pennies, but among those familiar copper coins, a few carried something extraordinary. Hidden in the ordinary change of everyday life was a coin that would one day astonish collectors with its value and story. The 1981 Lincoln penny, simple at first glance, has become one of the most intriguing coins of the late 20th century. The early 1980s marked a turning point in American coinage. The nation was changing, technology was advancing, and the cost of raw materials was rising. Even the humble penny would soon undergo one of the biggest transformations in its history. In 1981, the Lincoln penny was still made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, the same composition it had carried for decades. But just a year later, in 1982, the mint would switch to a cheaper zinc core with a thin copper coating. This means the 1981 Lincoln penny represents the final full year of America's traditional copper cent. That alone makes it special to collectors. But the story gets even more fascinating when you dive deeper into the varieties, mint marks, and rare errors from this year. On the obverse of the 1981 penny, we see the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln, created by Victor David Brenner in 1909. His strong profile, framed by the inscriptions, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," continues to remind Americans of courage and unity. The reverse still carried the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. If you look closely, you can even see a tiny figure of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, an incredible detail many people never notice. But what truly excites collectors about the 1981 penny are the subtle differences between the coins produced at different mints. There were three main versions: the Philadelphia penny with no mint mark, the Denver penny marked with a D, and the San Francisco proof penny marked with an S. The proof coins from San Francisco were made for collectors using polished dies and specially prepared blanks. Their mirror-like surfaces and sharp details make them stand out as miniature works of art. However, not all 1981 S-proof pennies are the same. There are two distinct mint mark varieties known to collectors, Type 1 and Type 2. Type 1 has a filled S, while Type 2 features a clear, sharply defined S. The Type 2 variety is scarcer and far more valuable. The 1981 penny also has its share of striking errors. Some examples show doubling in the lettering on the obverse, most notably in the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." These are known as double-die varieties, and they are among the most coveted coins from this year. Collectors also look for off-center strikes, broad strikes, and die cracks, each a unique fingerprint of minting imperfection that can dramatically increase a coin's worth. The appeal of the 1981 penny doesn't end with errors. Its role as the last full copper year gives it historical weight. For many collectors, it marks the end of an era, the final chapter before the penny changed forever. Because copper prices have risen over time, even regular 1981 pennies are worth more than face value for their metal content. But pristine, uncirculated coins or rare era varieties can fetch incredible sums. The finest examples of the 1981 penny are those that have survived untouched, coins that never entered circulation and retain their full mint luster. Under the right lighting, these pennies gleam with a reddish brilliance that captures the heart of any numismatist. When grading these coins, experts look for sharp details, no scratches, and a perfect finish. The higher the grade, the higher the value, especially in mint state, MS, condition. The 1981 penny from the Denver Mint often shows strong strikes, while Philadelphia issues tend to have slightly softer details. That subtle difference makes high-grade Philadelphia coins rarer and more desirable. As for proof coins, the 1981 S Type II is the crown jewel of the series. Its sharp S mint mark and flawless finish make it a must-have for serious collectors. Finding one of these coins in perfect condition is like striking gold. In fact, collectors across the world constantly search through old collections, hoping to find that one coin that stands above the rest. It's fascinating to think that a penny most people would overlook could hold such incredible value. Every coin tells a story, and the 1981 Lincoln penny tells one of change, precision, and discovery. Even though billions were made, the differences between mint marks, varieties, and conditions make every 1981 penny a tiny mystery waiting to be solved. When you hold a 1981 penny, you're holding the very end of America's copper era. The final echo of a tradition that lasted more than 70 years, each one represents history in the palm of your hand, a moment when the United States Mint balanced between the old and the new, and for those who know what to look for, a single 1981 Lincoln penny can be a true treasure, hiding quietly among ordinary coins. So the next time you see a penny from 1981, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look, examine the mint mark, check for doubling, and see if its surface still glows with that unmistakable copper brilliance, because one of these rare coins, struck in perfect condition and carrying an unusual mint mark or double die, was recently valued at $116,000. If you have a 1981 Lincoln penny or any other rare coin, share it in the comments below. Tell us about your discovery so we can help you find out if your coin might be valuable too. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video so you can join us on more amazing journeys into the hidden world of rare coins and their incredible worth. Top 3. In 1985, while the world was dancing to pop music and new technology was beginning to change everyday life, the United States Mint quietly continued a tradition that had already lasted more than 7 decades, the creation of the Lincoln 1-cent penny. Among the billions of coins struck that year, a few rare and extraordinary pieces would later capture the attention of collectors everywhere. The 1985 Lincoln penny might seem like just another coin you'd find in your pocket, but beneath its small copper-coated surface lies a world of fascinating detail, minting secrets, and surprising value. By 1985, the penny had already undergone one of its biggest changes in history. Just 3 years earlier, in 1982, the mint had transitioned from the traditional solid copper composition to a more economical copper-plated zinc coin. This change meant that the 1985 penny was not solid copper, but instead made of a zinc core covered by a thin layer of copper, a difference that would later make certain varieties stand out. The obverse of the coin proudly displays the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909. This design, more than 75 years old by 1985, continued to honor the nation's 16th president with the words, "Liberty," and, "In God We Trust," surrounding him. On the reverse side, the coin still featured the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday. Within the tiny columns of the memorial, if you look closely, you can even spot the miniature figure of Lincoln seated inside, one of the most subtle yet beautiful details in American coin design. The 1985 penny was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint produced coins without a mint mark, the Denver Mint used a D, and the San Francisco Mint struck proof coins with an S. For collectors, the mint mark is one of the most important details, as it can reveal where the coin was made and, in some cases, hint at its potential rarity. The San Francisco proof coins are particularly fascinating. They were not made for circulation but were struck specially for collectors using polished dies and prepared planchets. Their mirrored backgrounds and sharp details make them dazzling examples of craftsmanship. However, Even regular circulation strikes from 1985 can be worth far more than face value when they are found in pristine condition or exhibit unusual minting errors. One of the most sought-after varieties from this year is the 1985 double die penny. On these coins, some of the letters, especially in Liberty or In God We Trust, appear slightly doubled. This happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly between impressions. Such doubling errors are extremely popular among collectors because they are visible to the naked eye and represent genuine minting anomalies that are very rare. Another highly desirable variety is the 1985 off-center strike, where part of the design is missing because the coin blank was not correctly aligned during striking. These coins can look odd, but that's exactly what makes them valuable. Even tiny die cracks, die chips, or bubbled surfaces from improper zinc plating can make a 1985 penny stand out. These imperfections tell the story of the minting process, transforming an ordinary coin into a unique collectible. High-grade examples, especially those in mint state, MS 67 or above, are rare because most 1985 pennies were used in everyday transactions and quickly showed signs of wear. Finding one in perfect uncirculated condition, with bright luster and no contact marks, is a challenge. And that's exactly what makes them so desirable to collectors and investors alike. The zinc composition of the 1985 penny adds another layer of intrigue. Because zinc is softer than copper, these coins tend to corrode or discolor more easily over time. That means finding a 1985 penny that still shines like new is becoming increasingly rare. Proof coins from San Francisco are works of art, with deep mirror finishes and sharply detailed Lincoln portraits. When graded PR 70, the highest proof grade, they can fetch astonishing prices. It's amazing how much a small coin like this can tell us about American history, industrial change, and craftsmanship all at once. The penny may seem insignificant in today's world, but for coin collectors, it remains a symbol of legacy and discovery. Every 1985 penny carries with it a piece of the mint's history, a blend of tradition and modernization, just like the America of the 1980s itself. For young collectors, the 1985 penny often serves as an exciting starting point. It's recent enough to find in circulation, yet old enough to have developed interesting varieties and errors, and for experienced numismatists, it represents an opportunity to find that perfect coin, the flawless, mint-state example that stands above the rest. What makes this hobby so thrilling is the idea that treasure could be hiding anywhere, in a handful of change, an old jar, or a forgotten drawer. The 1985 penny reminds us that even the smallest things can hold great value. When it comes to value, some of these rare 1985 pennies, especially those featuring major doubling or preserved in exceptional condition, have amazed collectors with their high auction prices. Each time one of these coins surfaces, it proves again that rarity, beauty, and condition can turn something as small as a 1-cent piece into a fortune. So if you ever come across a 1985 Lincoln penny, take a moment to look closer. Examine the mint mark, check the lettering, and see if it glows with that bright copper color. You might be holding something truly special, because one of these 1985 United States of America Lincoln 1-cent pennies, preserved in flawless condition with a rare double die, was recently valued at $105,000. If you have a 1985 penny or any other interesting coin in your collection, tell us about it in the comments below. We'd love to help you discover its history and potential value. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video to join our growing community of coin lovers exploring the fascinating world of rare money and hidden treasures. Top 4. In 1998, the United States Mint produced millions of Lincoln 1-cent pennies, but hidden among those ordinary coins are a few special pieces that have become the center of fascination for collectors all over the world. The 1998 Lincoln penny may look like just another coin you'd find in your pocket, yet its story is filled with mystery, craftsmanship, and surprising value. The late 1990s marked a time of change and innovation in America. While the world was preparing for the new millennium, the mint continued its century-old tradition of striking the beloved Lincoln cent, a design that had already become a national icon. By 1998, the Lincoln penny had been in production for almost 90 years, still featuring the timeless portrait of President Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909. His strong, thoughtful profile continues to represent honesty, courage, and leadership. The obverse of the 1998 penny proudly displays Lincoln's face with the inscriptions, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," along with the date, 1998, at the lower right side. Each detail, though small, reflects the precision and artistry of the U.S. Mint. On the reverse side, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial design created by Frank Gasparo. For nearly 4 decades, this image stood as a tribute to Lincoln's enduring legacy. If you look closely between the columns, you can even see a tiny figure of Lincoln seated inside. One of the most remarkable design details in American coinage, the 1998 penny was struck at 2 main mints, Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from Philadelphia bear no mint mark, while those from Denver carry a small D beneath the date. Each mint produced millions of coins, but only a few from either location turned out to be truly special. The most famous variety from 1998 is the 1998 wide AM penny. This variety is what collectors dream of finding, and its discovery has turned ordinary change into a small fortune. To the untrained eye, the 1998 wide AM penny looks identical to the regular one. But there's one small difference: the spacing between the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse side. In the rare variety, the A and M are separated, while on the common coin, they are almost touching. This difference occurred because the mint accidentally used a proof reverse die meant for collector coins to strike regular circulation pennies. Only a handful of these coins were ever released to the public. For collectors, finding a 1998 wide AM penny is like finding hidden treasure. It's one of the most sought-after modern varieties of the Lincoln cent, and it has been known to sell for thousands of dollars in pristine condition. Adding to its charm, the 1998 penny was minted during the final years of the Lincoln Memorial reverse. Just 2 years later, in 2000, the mint would begin preparations for the upcoming Lincoln Bicentennial redesign. The 1998 penny also represents the modern zinc era of U.S. coinage. Since 1982, pennies have been made of a zinc core coated with copper, giving them a lighter weight of just 2.5 grams. While this change was made to reduce costs, it also made coins more prone to corrosion and surface imperfections, making perfect, high-grade examples rare and valuable. Collectors especially prize coins that have survived in mint state, MS, condition with their original reddish shine and no signs of wear or oxidation. Another feature collectors love to look for in the 1998 penny are minting errors. Off-center strikes, die cracks, and broad strikes from this year can add significant value to the coin. Sometimes, a combination of an error and a high grade can turn a simple penny into a coin worth thousands. That's why coin enthusiasts examine every detail, every letter, every edge, to spot what others might overlook. Proof coins from 1998, struck at the San Francisco Mint with an S mint mark, are another highlight of the year. These coins were not released into circulation but were sold in special sets for collectors, featuring mirror-like surfaces and crisp details. The proof version of the wide AM penny is perfectly normal. It's the circulation strikes with that same spacing that are rare. That's what makes the 1998 wide AM such a fascinating mistake. The smallest difference, something as simple as the space between 2 letters, has made this coin a legendary find among modern cents. It's proof that even in the age of mass production, human error and precision still dance together to create accidental treasures. High-grade examples of the 1998 penny, whether wide AM or regular issue, are graded by professional services like PCGS and NGC. Coins graded MS 67 or higher are especially rare, as few have survived in flawless condition after years of handling. Collectors who own such coins know that they're not just holding a piece of metal, they're holding history, art, and a touch of mystery. Each time a 1998 wide AM penny appears at auction, it sparks excitement. Collectors from around the world bid fiercely, knowing how scarce these coins truly are. It's incredible to think that a coin worth just 1 cent could be hiding in someone's pocket or an old coin jar, waiting to be discovered decades later. That's the thrill of coin collecting, realizing that small details can hold big surprises. The 1998 penny is a reminder to look closer, to see beyond the ordinary, and to appreciate the beauty of craftsmanship and chance. So, if you ever find a 1998 penny, take a moment to turn it over and look closely at the AM in America. You might just be holding one of the rarest pennies of its time, because one of these remarkable 1998 United States of America Lincoln 1-cent pennies, featuring the rare wide AM variety and preserved in pristine condition, was recently valued at $78,000. If you have a 1998 penny or any other rare coin, share it with us in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story and help you uncover the value of your coins. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video to join our growing community of collectors and treasure hunters discovering the hidden wealth in everyday change. Top 5. In 1994, the United States Mint struck millions of Washington quarter dollars, coins that seemed perfectly ordinary, yet some of them would go on to become extraordinary treasures in the eyes of collectors. The 1994 Washington quarter is one of those modern coins that remind us just how much history and mystery can be hidden in something we use every single day. When most people think of valuable coins, they imagine old, worn pieces from the 1800s. But sometimes, even a modern coin from the 1990s can surprise everyone with its story, its rarity, and its hidden value. The Washington quarter, first introduced in 1932, was meant to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Its design quickly became one of the most recognizable pieces of American currency. By 1994, the design still featured Washington's dignified portrait on the obverse, crafted by sculptor John Flanagan. His timeless depiction of Washington remained a lasting tribute to the nation's founding leader. On the obverse, you'll find Washington facing left, with the inscriptions, Liberty and, In God We Trust, as well as the date, 1994. It's simple yet bold, carrying the essence of American history in its design. Turning to the reverse, you'll see the majestic bald eagle, wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows, a powerful symbol of strength and preparedness. This classic design was used for decades until the State Quarters series began in 1999. The 1994 quarters were minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia quarters carry no mint mark, while Denver's quarters are marked with a D, and the San Francisco proofs bear an elegant S. Each mint produced coins with slightly different finishes. The Philadelphia and Denver mints created circulation strikes for everyday use, while the San Francisco mint produced proof coins for collectors. Though billions of quarters were struck that year, only a small number remain in pristine, uncirculated condition, and those few have become highly sought after by collectors around the world. The Philadelphia and Denver quarters are made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, a mix of durable metals designed to withstand decades of circulation, but the proof coins from San Francisco were crafted with extreme precision. They feature mirror-like fields and frosted details that shine under light, making them miniature works of art. The true allure of the 1994 Washington quarter comes from its rare varieties and minting errors, mistakes that occurred during production but turned out to be treasures in disguise. Some 1994 quarters display a double die error, where parts of the design, like the lettering or date, appear slightly doubled. This happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly during the minting process. Others show off-center strikes, broad strikes, or misaligned dies that create oddly shaped or distorted coins. Such pieces instantly catch the eyes of experienced numismatists. Collectors have even found quarters with missing cladding, giving the coin a unique copper appearance. These errors make ordinary pocket change suddenly worth thousands of dollars. A 1994 quarter in mint state condition, especially with a sharp strike and brilliant luster, is already a gem. But when it combines perfect preservation with a striking error, its value can skyrocket. Even though this coin is relatively modern, its story reminds us that hidden treasures don't always come from centuries past. Sometimes, they're hiding in your spare change right now. The 1994 quarter is part of the last era before the United States Mint began the famous 50-state quarters program, which would later dominate coin collecting in the early 2000s. This makes it even more special, a final chapter in the classic Washington quarter design that collectors love for its simplicity and elegance. If you ever come across a 1994 quarter that looks unusually perfect, or one with visible doubling or odd color tones, it's worth setting aside. You might just be holding something rare. Professional coin graders like PCGS and NGC often certify these coins, grading them on a scale that determines their condition and value. High-grade examples, those rated MS 68 or higher, are the most coveted. When one of these coins appears at an auction, collectors compete fiercely to own it, driving prices far higher than anyone would expect for a modern quarter. It's fascinating how a coin that once bought a gumball could one day be worth enough to buy an entire car. That's the beauty of numismatics: history, art, and value coming together in one small piece of metal. So the next time you're sorting through your pocket change or checking the quarters in your collection, take a closer look at your 1994 coins. You might spot something remarkable. It could be a tiny doubling on Liberty, a slightly off-center design, or a flawless surface that shines like a mirror. The clues to a true hidden treasure. Collectors continue to admire the 1994 quarter for its craftsmanship, its historical connection, and the thrill of the hunt for those rare varieties. Many coin enthusiasts say it's not just about the money, it's about the excitement of finding a piece of American history that has survived in extraordinary condition. And among all those millions of quarters minted in 1994, one special coin, a flawless specimen with an exceptional minting error, was recently valued at $62,000. That if you have a 1994 Washington quarter or any other coin you're curious about, make sure to tell us in the comments. We'd love to help you find out whether your coins could be worth a fortune. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and join our growing community of coin collectors and history lovers who are uncovering America's hidden treasures, one coin at a time.